Welcome to the Narratives Obscura channel, where hidden stories and untold tales come to life. Dive deep into the unknown and discover the secrets that history has left behind. If you like exploring the obscure, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It was a crisp autumn evening, and I had been visiting my grandparents in rural West Virginia for a few days. Their isolated farmhouse, surrounded by dense woods and rolling hills, always felt like a world away from my life in NYC. Despite the tranquility, there was an unsettling quietness to the place, especially at night. My grandparents had gone to bed early, and I decided to take Rocky, their loyal blue heeler, for his nightly walk. Normally, my grandfather would take him through the woods, but with his recent hip surgery, that task had fallen to me. As we ventured into the forest, the sun was setting, casting long shadows and painting the sky in hues of orange and purple. The first few nights had been uneventful, though the eerie silence and the occasional rustling of leaves always kept me on edge. But tonight was different. As we walked deeper into the woods, a strange, melodic whistle echoed through the trees. It sounded almost human, but there was something unnatural about it. Rocky stopped in his tracks, ears perked up, and began to growl softly. I shone my flashlight in the direction of the sound, but saw nothing. "Come on, boy," I urged, trying to keep my voice steady. We continued walking, but the whistle came again, this time closer. Rocky's growl turned into frantic barking. My heart pounded as I quickened my pace, pulling Rocky along with me. We were almost out of the woods when I heard the whistle a third time, now directly behind us. I turned around, and there, standing just a few feet away, was a shadowy figure. It was tall and thin, its form barely discernible in the dim light. The whistling stopped abruptly as the figure began to move towards us. Panic surged through me. I yanked on Rocky's leash, and we bolted out of the forest, not stopping until we were safely back at the farmhouse. I burst through the door, startling my grandparents who were watching TV in the living room. "What happened?" my grandmother Muriel asked, her face pale with worry. I recounted the events, and as I did, I saw a flicker of fear in her eyes. My grandfather Robert set his jaw, his expression grim. "You didn't whistle back, did you?" Muriel asked urgently. "No, I didn't," I replied, confused. "Why?" Muriel let out a sigh of relief, but remained tense. "It's nothing. Just best to ignore it." The next day, my grandmother suggested that I take Rocky for walks around the house instead of the woods. I gladly agreed, not wanting a repeat of the previous night. As evening fell, I started our laps around the farmhouse. The atmosphere felt lighter, less oppressive, and I began to relax a little. But my sense of security was shattered on the third night. As I was completing my usual laps, I heard that same eerie whistle, this time coming from behind the garage. My blood ran cold. I grabbed Rocky and sprinted back into the house, slamming the door behind me. I locked all the doors and windows, my heart racing. For the rest of the night, I kept my earbuds in, drowning out any sounds from outside. The fear was overwhelming, but I forced myself to stay calm, remembering my grandmother's advice to ignore the whistling. The next morning, I decided to confront my grandparents again. "What is it that's whistling out there? You know something, don't you?" Muriel exchanged a worried glance with Robert before finally speaking. "There are things in these woods, things best left alone. The whistling, it's a warning, a call. We've heard stories about people who responded to it and they never came back the same." Robert nodded, his face grave. "We don't know exactly what it is, but it's been here longer than anyone can remember. The important thing is to never acknowledge it. Stay inside at night and don't go into the woods." I spent the rest of my stay on edge, never straying far from the house. When it was finally time to return to NYC, I felt a wave of relief. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, be sure to subscribe and activate the notification bell to stay up to date with our latest mysteries. If you found this video intriguing, please like it and share it with other explorers. See you on your next adventure.